Yes, welcome back to the South Australian Sports Show. Well, a very special guest. He played footy in the AFL for Collingwood. He was at Sydney, of course. He played with the Norwood Footy Club. He's been unfortunate to get Huntington's disease, but he's been fantastic about getting the word out and telling everyone what it is. He's been good enough to give us some of his time. We talk about Benny Wilson. Benny, thanks for coming in, mate.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Phil. Thanks for having me on.
Mate, I'm not sure where to start, whether I want to start about the footy, mate, whether I want to start with the Huntington's disease, mate. Let's start with your footy career first. Let's a little bit on that, mate. You had a year with Collingwood, had a year with Sydney, had to go through the draft, had to move away from home. Is there something you would pass on to the young kids that are going through that process now?
I'd say that the main difference between football now and football then was the fact that kids nowadays have so much support. Whereas when we went over to Victoria, we had nothing really at all. We had no welfare, no development coaches, small coaching staff. So the advice I'd have now is to use all of the advice and the support that you have, because I think that I saw a lot of people in my career who might have done a lot better if they'd got the help and the support from the welfare people and development coaches earlier on. So they can adjust to going to Victoria or wherever they go.
It's a big move, isn't it? Then you came back, of course, and finished your career with the Norwood Footy Club, which you still have a passion for. And let's talk about your mates at the Norwood Footy Club. So, you were courageous enough to find out that you had Huntington's. What do we call it? A disease?
Yes, it's a disease. It's
a rogue disease?
Yeah, it's a debilitating condition.
Debilitating condition. Okay, so you found out at about 24 that you had it and courageously went and sorted that out after the loss of your father and your uncle. But then you continued to play for another 6-7 years. Was that difficult to keep it a secret?
Yeah, it was a bit. And I knew once I wanted to know to find out as soon as I could, because I just wanted to, I think that knowledge is power. So for me, I just wanted to know either way. But I think that it's tricky to know when the right time to come out is. Because with a condition like Huntington's, you have to be very careful at what time you do. And if you do, and I wouldn't say if, but when, more so. Because I think that I was just lucky enough to be in an environment at St. Peter's College where they gave me great support and stuff like that. So I came out at that point when my career ambitions had been sort of met with my career, and stuff in career sport. So for me, it was tricky, but now I'm all about, as an ambassador of Huntington's, I'm all about talk about it, because otherwise you can't help people.
That's an amazing decision you made, Ben, at 24 to go to check yourself out, get yourself checked out for Huntington's, because of a family history of the... You had no symptoms at 24, or you didn't know within yourself that you might have that? You just went and checked it out?
Yeah, good question. You don't actually... My grandfather passed it on to my uncle and father, who both passed away. So for me, I found out that I had the condition at 24, but a lot of people don't wait, or have to wait for a very long time until they actually see symptoms come, which is part of the anxiety and the how low that can make you, because you have to wait until you're 30 or in your late 30s, like I was, until you actually saw. So you, so that's with the movements, and so you kind of have, obviously you do a lot of cost comparison with your dad at the same age. Where was, how am I going now? Where is he at? Because of the genetic nature.
When you do the cross comparisons now, because you're able to do that, how are you tracking the fact that you knew earlier, and you said you've got onto certain things and really aware of it, tracking much better?
I'd say definitely, just in terms of the whole mindset. Because my dad was one of these common people who was in a denial camp. So for him, he just didn't want to know about it. He was in denial. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a common coping mechanism. But so for him, he just didn't. He didn't want to know. He just thought he was bulletproof and he lived forever.
Yeah, we all think we're bulletproof when we're younger, Benny.
Yes,
we
of
all
course.
think hey, mate, your wife, Melanie, I mean, a massive inspiration in your life.
Yes.
When you had to tell her the news, how was that?
It's always tricky. Having the news yourself is tricky enough, but then passing it on to other people and having to share that information, like with the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
2 kids,
Melanie
8 and 11 now,
yeah.
the 2 kids.
Yeah, so that was tricky.
Yep.
And it's when we had our first date, she actually said, "Well, what you've obviously got something going on. What is it?" And they said, "Oh," I said, "It's Huntington's." Went home that night. She googled it and came. I got a message the next day saying, "When's our next day?"
What a great woman.
Yeah.
What a great lady.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mate,
Yeah,
kids,
she's amazing.
The kids, how do they understand it?
They are aware of what's going on for Dad, and they know what's happening. There's no doubt that they experience anxiety and a bit of, issues around it, like anyone. But one of the great things is that because of modern technology, we were able to have the children HD free through IVF and PGD.
Yep.
And so from that point of view, the Huntington's gene dies in the Wilson family with me.
Okay.
Because of the nature of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a very big relief. Then they got to see the kids.
Yes.
Fantastic support from the football club.
Yeah,
Norwood.
yes.
That was going to be enough because they run a night for you. It's to create awareness. It's not for you. It's to create awareness of Huntington's and whatever. A game at Norwood Oval, which would have raised some funds. And,
yeah, correct.
Great support.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was really a career highlight.
This is a great honour.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so good. And it was done, the idea was from 2 mates, Sam Nunn, who's now on the Huntington's board, and a friend of mine, Joel Urban, who's also a great supporter of me. And they just said, let's, what do you want to do? I said, just do something for awareness. So they came up with this idea, put together lots of past players, and they came out and had a lot of media interest and stuff like that, and ended up getting 30 grand in the 30k for the Huntington's, which is a very young organisation, so it needs money desperately.
Norwood played Ross Trevor in that game nearly a year ago.
Yes.
Will there be another game?
Well, that's interesting because it's in the pipeline.
Yep.
We're thinking about definitely thinking about whether we look at like a Ross Trevor versus Sacred Heart at in the cold time, and that'll be not this year, but then the year after.
Yep.
So they'll have we just have to obviously get permission and go and talk to the right people. But that's kind of the old sort of nemesis from Ross River days. Sacred Heart. Yeah,
my kids went to Sacred Heart, so I'm aware of the rivalry, mate. It's not spoken about fondly, that's for sure. Yeah.
You were talking about some treatment off air,
yes.
Ben. You were talking about some treatment, and you said that you've come across a particular massage style that has really helped, really working. Do you want to explain what that is?
There's a couple of things that I do, obviously, to help manage my illness. One of them is obviously I go to see a chiropractor, and I see acupuncturists because that helps with the movements.
Yes.
Yep. And but the massage is called shiatsu. It's Japanese, and it does like pressure points, and it kind of gives you back your energy, and gets rid of all the sore spots like nothing I've ever had. I've tried.
How often?
It's been given at the moment by my partner, so depends how busy she is.
Oh, right.
At the moment, not often. And not often.
Yeah, not often enough.
Not often enough. No, she's busy.
So you're pretty busy with the 2 kids, aren't you?
Don't mention the war.
Hey, Benny, do you watch the footy much? Do you get a chance to sit down and watch the footy?
I watched the Norwood versus Port game a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
That was really physical.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You deliberately said that. He deliberately said that. He knew it wasn't.
He knew a Port man, didn't he?
Yeah. That's deliberate.
Yeah.
That's not the only game you've seen, sure.
No, not at all. So that I've seen a bit of that, and I do try to go to some of the local past players events and stuff like that. So, we had a few beers at the football a few weeks ago.
That's the thing about the past players, they don't mind having a few beers, do they? So,
exactly.
If I was Melanie, I wouldn't let you go to those events. But anyway...
I should go over the night off.
Hey, mate, the future for you, the next couple of years, you're still the ambassador for Huntington, South Australia, Northern Territory. Does that consume a lot of your time?
Yes, it does. But it's also one of the things that we've got hope for now is that we've just received news that we've got a cure that it's come through trial.
Yep.
Successful cure.
Yep.
But there still needs to be some follow-up trials.
Yes.
So for me, obviously, that to be able to do a trial like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So I'd try to sign myself up for one of those, if it's here or Victoria or something like that.
Okay.
So, because we've been looking for hope for a very long time.
Yeah.
Finally, we got some.
Yeah. That's brilliant. I didn't know that. I didn't know that news.
No. That's pretty recent then.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mate, history teacher at St Peter's, and you said before, mate, knowledge is what it's all about.
Yep.
So you're pretty active upstairs. The research for you on the disease itself, constantly researching, constantly trying to find ways to trick it?
Yeah, I would say I'm always looking for things to obviously trick and change and stuff like that, tweak and stuff.
Yep.
But I'm not a huge researcher, but I've sort of handled that one off to Melanie.
Right. Sounds like you've handballed a fair bit off to Melanie
Correct.
today, mate. So we've got to do the massage, we've got to studying, looking after the kids, mate.
You doing a lot, Ben? You doing anything at all?
No, not at all.
No, maintaining your sense of humour and being a hell of a good way. So, mate, the next function for Huntings is going to be
the next, yes, it'll be that next game, and then there's one, obviously, we have Sam Nine, and he's going to be running for the for Huntington's for the City of Bay.
Okay.
In a few weeks' time.
Yep.
So,
does he know you can catch a tram? Don't tell him, Benny.
He's a Rossi boy, mate.
Is he? Oh, okay. You're Rossi boy.
He'll run.
Hey, Benny, really appreciate you coming in, mate. It's a great story. If anything we can do to help you, that'd be good. But we need to get to that game. Benny Wilson, our special guest. Stay with us. Still plenty to come.